Hi, I'm Amber Marsala, and it's Fight Week here in Las Vegas. We're only days away, so let's take an inside look at this mega fight between Mexican superstar Canelo Alvarez and Cuban sensation Erislandy Lara. Here joining us to give us an in-depth look is the man who knows the sport. He's been in for many years, and he recognizes a superstar when he sees one, Big Papa. Thanks for being on the show, Big Papa. Now let's get right to it. Canelo versus Lara, how big of a fight is this for boxing?
This is a monster fight for boxing because a lot of things are going to happen as a result of whatever happens, whether Canelo wins or whether Lara wins. Lara wins, it's a major upset, but the boxer would see it like he was a better boxer. But it'll be a monumental thing for the public, for Golden Boy Promotions, for the MGM, for the whole sport who has a star in Canelo, and all of a sudden he takes a loss, which eliminates a lot of future fights. Now, if Canelo wins, it's business as usual. His name gets bigger because he beats a legitimate boxer, and then the fight with goes on, and maybe eventually a rematch with Mayweather.
Do you think Canelo's a superstar or just another fighter?
He has the makings of a superstar. He still has to fight more opponents of name, to establish himself as a legitimate superstar. All superstars have faced the biggest names out there. Mayweather was his first really big name. He lost. Lara is a legitimate boxer, a real boxer, that if he beats him, and then this pursuit for that stardom and fame and the glory begins. But he has to get through Lara and show the boxing world and show the fans that he's here to stay.
So what does Canelo have to do to get the Mexican fans behind him fully?
He has to win. He has to win decisively. He has to win convincingly. Winning by decision, it's okay. People might let it slide. Even if he dominates in the fight and just completely, you still give him credit because you'll say, well, you faced a very crafty fighter, and you were able to stand in there and outpoint him. But what people really want to see is a throwdown. What people really want to see, because Canelo is known to be a puncher, and he throws punches in bunches. So that's what we want to see. We want to be a show. We want to see a show. We want to be entertained. We want him to finish that guy off, and the crowd's going to be in favor of him without a doubt. So the fans want to feel part of this victory. They want to feel like they pushed him into victory. They want to feel the explosion. So Canelo has to win.
How important is Canelo's conditioning for this fight against Lara?
It's extremely important because Lara will last the 12 rounds. Lara does last, and he recovers quickly. Lara's going to be going around the ring, Mayweather style, defending, moving, hitting, and doing everything to avoid facing Canelo one-on-one. So Canelo needs to get past the 6th round. A lot of people say he can't get past the 6th round without getting tired and taking breaks. Now, if that happens, Lara's gonna, kind of take control of the fight because he's gonna set the pace. He's gonna, have him chasing him around and tire him out. And Canelo cannot afford to do that. Canelo's got to go in there like a bull, focus, concentrate, and hit the guy and catch him as many times as possible.
Does Canelo have the power to KO since he seems to like to stand and challenge?
He does if he connects, and like I said, if he throws his punches in bunches, and if Lara allows himself, if Lara stands in front of him, and Lara tends to go backwards in a straight line, which means he's not a moving target. So Canelo could go off on him. If Canelo connects, hits some body shots, which Lara has been hit with body shots before. He got caught by Angulo twice with the left hook because he dropped that right hand. So Lara can be caught. So if he gives that chance to Canelo, he could suffer the consequences.
It's been said he's been protected fighting smaller fighters and has not faced top-tier competition until recently. So are we just now seeing who Canelo really is?
We're going to get to see who Canelo really is because, when you talk about Lara, he's a southpaw. He's a crafty fighter. Angulo, who faced him himself, said he has crazy mad footwork. He has a quick left hand, which lands consistently and constantly. He has stamina. He's very tricky. Many say he's bigger and more powerful than Mayweather. Some have said he's a younger Mayweather. He moves around the ring in both ways, left and right. Great counterpuncher, great recovery time. So, in other words, he has the makings of a real boxer, a real fighter. He's legitimate. So Canelo gets past this guy. Yes, Canelo is the real deal.
Okay, so what does Canelo have to do to win?
Well, Canelo's keys of victory are basically he's got to stay active, he's got to stay aggressive, he's got to stay on top of him. I'm hoping that he worked on his conditioning. I'm hoping he did a lot of leg work so he doesn't get tired after the 6th round. He's a bigger puncher, he has more power, he has a great chin, he hasn't been knocked down in 45 pro fights. He needs to be more active than usual. His trainer says he's motivated. He wants to upset this guy. He wants to punish him for all the talking Lara's been doing, But he does tend to fade after the 6th round. The home crowd is in his favor. Golden Boy Promotions is behind him. He's hungry for redemption after losing to Mayweather, so he wants to get back on top of the hill and climb that mountain to get back to Mayweather. So he wants a fight with Cotto in the near few months. So. He wants the respect of Mexicans who are still upset about the Mayweather debacle. So he has a great desire to be great. This is his chance to show everybody what he's made out of.
Do you think Lara can hurt Canelo?
Yeah, if Lara plays his cards right, if he really comes in, if he keeps moving, keeps the distance is very important because he has a 5-inch reach advantage. So if he could keep, literally like if you're measuring it, where he keeps Canelo at a distance, Canelo's shots don't really connect to him, use those 5 inches, get the timing down. If he could become a snake charmer, because Canelo tends to react to his opponents and kind of charm him and control the pace and keep him off him and disrupt any type of timing that Canelo could establish and limit his combinations. If he can just stick and move all night, just keep sticking and moving, move around, control the distance so that Canelo's firepower is at bay. And if Lara uses his range to establish his shots, just don't get right in front of Canelo. Don't be a target. Then Lara could really upset him.
Is there anything else that you think Lara would need to do to win?
Just stay out of trouble. He got caught with those. That's a very, very, very good question. Lara got caught because he lowered his right, and he got caught by the hooks, which knocked him down. I think part of that is trying to lure your opponent to come in thinking that your hand's down and you're going to strike him, and I think that's where he gets him with the left. You don't want to do that with Canelo because if on one of those he does drop his hand and he gets caught with something big, he could be in trouble just like he was with Angulo. So if Lara could avoid doing that, actually just keep moving around, don't get hit in the body because when he got hit by Angulo, he slowed down. Just keep moving, keep the rhythm, keep a pace of having Canelo chase you around the ring and keep shooting your 1-2 punches, keep shooting the left and use your jab a lot, and then Lara's in the ballgame.
As an expert of the sport, who do you think should win the fight?
As I see it, when you look at it on paper, you'd say, because of Lara's ability, you would say Lara wins in decision. Even if you ask 2 fighters who recently faced him, Austin Trout says he believes Canelo may be strong, but he thinks that Lara's going to land on him with his left. So he has it by unanimous. And if the other opponent that knocked down Lara, Angulo, he says that Lara's got hell of a footwork and he's got a quick left hand and that left is going to land. So you would say that Lara should win in a decision. However, I'm going to have to go with the Mexican for this fight. I think that Canelo's hunger, desire to be great, kind of like the Rocky story where he faced Apollo. Apollo had all the skills, but Rocky wanted it more, had more heart. I think Canelo's heart, Canelo's desire to be great, and Canelo's desire to please the fans and the crowd is going to be enough. I think he's going to catch him and surprise everybody, and I think he's going to put Lara down.
So the odds right now have Canelo as a 2-1 favorite. Are you saying you agree with this?
If I sit down and do the math, because of all the skill and talent that Lara has, and because of the way they both, the way they fought both of their early recent opponents, Trout and Angulo, and how those turned out, you would say that this fight would be much closer than that. He brings Lara brings so many things to this fight. He's dangerous. So for the fight to be 2-1, it's wow. That's that to me. That's a lot. However, Canelo is a star. He has drawing power. So, and he's a favorite. So that's still 2-1. I think it should be much closer than that.
Now, as a businessman, which fighter's victory would be better for business?
Wow, that's pretty easy because Canelo has a following. Canelo's a fan favorite. Canelo's 23. He's about to turn 24 years old. Lara's 31. Canelo is from Mexico, which, as you know, that means, especially if you're a good fighter, that means a lot. So the future is the road is kind of just waiting for Canelo and for his victories. There's fights, there's talks about fights with Cotto, maybe eventually a rematch with Mayweather. So the sport of boxing needs a Canelo to win convincingly, decisively, to get a lot of fanfare. So for the sport, Canelo. Now, if Lara wins, he doesn't have all those perks and all those positive things. He doesn't have like a lot of fans. He doesn't have all the bells and whistles. But as a fighter, you could make an argument for him. But speaking business, Canelo.
How important is this fight for Golden Boy Promotions now that Richard Schaefer is gone?
Oh, it's everything because he's their star. I mean, they could ride his coattail, I guess you could say, for a long time because he's 23, about to turn 24. He has a long career ahead of him. He's marketable. People like him. As you saw against Mayweather, he filled the stadium. He set a record. So Golden Boy has a star. And in any enterprise, in any business, in any sport, stars command numbers, fill seats, sell pay-per-views. Canelo definitely is needed by Golden Boy Promotions.
In your opinion, should Golden Boy and Top Rank join forces to co-promote fights? Because if so, we can see something fans have been yearning for, fights such as Cotto versus Canelo, Pacquiao versus Khan, Abner Mares versus Nonito Donaire.
There is no doubt that would be great for the sport of boxing, because for the longest time we have yearned to see mega fights, but the promoters didn't see eye to eye. The promoters don't want to co-promote, and so we end up missing fights that we think would be great. If they could find a way to work that out and give the fans and the public what we want, I definitely think that would be great for the sport of boxing all in all.
Now, what do you hope happens in this fight?
I really hope that both fighters come into this fight like Terrence Crawford and Gamboa did recently in Omaha. That they both come in with all their skills and talents, which we know they have. Canelo with the strength, with his power, with his determination. Lara with being the southpaw, using his hands, his speed, his footwork, being crafty as we know he is. Both of them using. Let's see if Canelo worked on his athleticism and his stamina for this fight. Can Lara frustrate Canelo by keep moving? Can Canelo inflict punishment with his constant barrage of blows and combinations? A lot of things can happen. Both of them have a lot of skill. They're strong in different areas. I would love to see them both do what Crawford and Gamboa did in their fight. Leave it all in the ring. Give it all you got. Don't leave it to the judges. Don't leave it to anybody. Make a clear determination. So if Lara can't knock out Canelo, I'll point him. I mean, to the point where we're like, wow, he dominated him. I mean, my goodness, the only thing that was left was a knockout. And for Canelo, same thing. If you're going to beat him by points, I'll point him to the point where it's so clear and evident that there's no question marks. But ideally, since you're the puncher, we would love to see Canelo knock him out or not take him out. So, in other words, I would love to see an answer. I would like to see resolve. I would like to sit back and say, I know who won that fight. The guy with the bigger heart.
So the boxing world will get to see a great fight this Saturday night. Lara is already saying he wants Floyd Mayweather if he beats Canelo, and if Canelo wins, there have been talks of him facing Miguel Cotto later this year. As always, tune into our channel for all the latest news. I'm Amber Marsala, and you don't want to miss this fight.